Now we're on. Hi, everybody. Great.
Shana Tova, everyone.
Shana Tova.
I am imagining seeing all of you, hopefully watching at home, and joining us for this children's service for Rosh Hashanah. We're glad to have you with us. I'm Rabbi Paul, and along with our cantorial student, Calix Jacobson, we're going to be leading the service for you, and we're going to hear the shofar a little later, and hear a story and sing some songs, so we're going to have a lot of fun today. So we'll start with a special song that we like to sing when we come in to the sanctuary, come into the temple, and imagine gathering together for prayer. We sing Ma Tovu to say how beautiful are the places where we Jewish people live.
Hallelujah.
And at Rosh Hashanah, we think a lot about the year that we've had, and we think about the year that's starting, and we think a lot about what we are grateful for, what we are thankful for. So if you are watching and you have someone with you, I'd like everyone to just take a few minutes, and we'll wait here while you talk with the people in the room with you about something that you are thankful for, that you are grateful for. And you can each take a turn and share something that you're grateful for and maybe why you're grateful for it. And if you are watching by yourself, you can think about those things, and we can be grateful for all the things that we have, and you can think about it on your own. So take a few minutes to do that. No, we don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. We're just standing here. Thank you. If you're still talking about things you're grateful for, you're very lucky that you have so much to be thankful for. If you haven't finished, maybe you can continue to talk a little later about it. But we're going to continue with our service. When we are grateful, we say a special blessing. We say a blessing called Shehecheyanu, which is praising and thanking God for giving us life, for sustaining us and bringing us to this special day of Rosh Hashanah. So let's sing that together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu
And we're going to sing a song called Hallelujah, which is also thanking God and praising God for all the beautiful things that God has made.
Just our voices. Hallelujah.
And now that we have said thank you and are ready to start our service, we're going to start with the first prayer of the service called the Baruch. And when we say the Baruch, we stand up, so everyone stand up. And when we say the Baruch, it's like the leader of the service is asking, are you ready to pray? And when the leader asks, are you ready to pray? You answer, yes. So I'm going to say, are you ready to pray? And I want to hear you all the way from home. Ready? Are you ready to pray?
Yes.
I don't think I could hear everyone at home. Some people might live pretty far.
Pretty far.
If you don't live in Stony Brook and you live a little further, you have to be even louder. Ready? Are you ready to pray?
Yes.
I think I could hear them.
I think I could hear them too.
Wow, that was very loud.
All right.
Okay, so we're ready to pray. We're going to sing the Baruch together. I'm going to turn around and face
All right, I'm going to face the mic, and here's the good news. The great news about this prayer is it starts off with some words that everyone can sing, and that's lie, lie, lie. So everyone can sing with me, lie, lie, lie. All right? Let's give it a shot. Lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 lie. Get ready to bow. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
And we're going to stay standing up for another minute. And when we have said thank you to God and gotten ready to pray, and now we said we're ready to pray and we've started our service, the next thing we do is we sing the Shema. And the Shema is saying there is one God, and that God is one and that we are one. Even though we're different than each other, we're all the same. We all can care for each other and work together to make this a great world. So we're going to sing the Shema and remember how we can be one as people and how God is one.
So I want you to watch closely. One of the things that some of us do when we say the Shema is some of us, if we have glasses, we might take off our glasses and cover our eyes. And some of us, we make a shin with our fingers. It's one of the Hebrew letters. We can make a 3, that's a shin, and put it over our eyes. Now shin represents Shaddai, which is a name for God. You might see it on a mezuzah, which is later in the Shema, in the Ve'ahavta. You might see it on a door, on the doorpost of your house, as they say. So I want you to practice making a shin and putting it over your eyes when we sing Shema together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. A little softer now. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Good job.
Very nice.
Very
Everyone,
good.
if you're standing at home, you can sit down now if you'd like. Just take a little quick rest because we're going to do something fun that you need to stand up again. We may know the story of when the Israelites, the Jewish people, were in Egypt. They were slaves for a long time, and they had to work very, very hard, and they weren't free to do anything that they like. And after a long time, God helped them get out of Egypt, and they went to the sea, and they wanted to cross, but the sea was blocking them. And Moses, with God's help, was able to part the sea, and they were able to walk through and escape and be free. And when they got to the other side of the sea, they sang these words, Mi chamocha. They sang, "Who is like you, God? You are an amazing God." And when they did that, they played instruments and they danced and they celebrated. So if you would like, while we sing this song, this prayer, if you want to get up and dance, or if you have something that you can use as an instrument at home, you can do that as we sing. So we're going to sing Mi Chamocha and Miriam's song.
Good news, this also starts with Yailai, so everyone can start by singing together. And Miriam raised her voice and sung and sang with praise and might. We just lived through a miracle. We're gonna dance tonight. Let's go! And the women dancing with their timbrels follow Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced. They danced the whole night long. Woo!
That was great
Gets
dancing.
me going every time.
And now we are going to have a special stretch activity.
Here we go. All right. So, I should probably stay up here. All right. Here we go. We've been sitting all day in front of the computer watching services. So, back in the day, I did improv. And in improv, we did all sorts of stretches and activities so that we were loose. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stand up first. We're going to stretch up and to the left and to the right and backwards and forward. You're doing great. We're going to get our willies out. And then this was my favorite thing to do in improv. We're going to get our hands out. Can you still hear me? Left. Great. We're going to get our hands and feet out like this. We're going to do counts of 8, then 4, then 2, then 1. We're going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Everybody straight! That always got me
Okay, I hope everyone was able to do that. That was fun. And now that we had a chance to stretch a little bit, because when we pray, we like to use our bodies too, not just our voices. And we are now going to do the Amidah prayer, the Avot, the Imahot, talking about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Sarah and Rebekah and Rachel and Leah. So we stand up for this. Amidah means standing, so everyone at home can stand up. And we're going to sing a little bit of this prayer.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Get ready to bow. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Zochreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chotvenu b'sefer hachayim, lemancha Elohim chayim, melech ozer u'mashiach magen, baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham ezrat Sarah.
And everyone can sit down. And we're going to take a moment for silent prayer. So it's nice to all pray the same words together at the same time in the same way, but we all are different and we all have our own prayers and our own thoughts. So now is a chance for us to think our own thoughts and say our own prayers to God quietly. And a few minutes ago, you saw me open the Ark. And in the Ark, of course, we have the beautiful Torah scrolls. And did you see anything that looks a little different with the Torah scrolls than when we sometimes see them? They're all dressed in white.
Just like us.
Right? We match.
We sure do.
And white is a great color for Rosh Hashanah because it shows us that we are supposed to become pure and clean, and everything that we have done wrong and all the things what maybe we didn't tell the truth, or maybe we were mean to someone or argued with them or did something that wasn't respectful, all those things that we did wrong that we're sorry for, we can say we are sorry and we can become clean again and start fresh. So that's what all the white in the Ark and what we're wearing reminds us of, and even the podium here that we have special white covering to make this a very special time. So we read a very special story in the Torah on Rosh Hashanah, And it's a story about Abraham. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. Abraham is known as the father of the Jewish people. Abraham is also called the first Jew. Abraham loved and trusted God. Isaac was Abraham and Sarah's most beloved son. Isaac was born when they were both very old. Abraham's neighbors often sacrificed their children to many gods, but Abraham knew that these gods were not really God. They were false gods. Adonai was the true God. Adonai created heaven and earth. Abraham was sure that his God was not the kind of God who wanted the death of a child. Still, God wished to test Abraham. God asked Abraham to go to a far-off place that was hard to find. And there, God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac, his only special son. Abraham went to that place because he knew that God would protect Isaac. When Abraham and Isaac reached that secret place, God said, "I will not hurt your son. I wanted to be sure that you would listen to my voice. I know that you believe in me. Now I will bless you. You will be an example to other people. Your children will be known in all the world, and they will remember your courage and trust." Abraham looked toward heaven. He thanked God. He took Isaac by the hand, returned home, and every year spoke of his meeting with God. And every year we talk about it too when we read from the Torah on Rosh Hashanah, and remember how it's important to have faith in God and to know that God doesn't want us to hurt each other and wants us to be good to each other and follow God's laws. So that is an important lesson for us. And when we think about God on Rosh Hashanah, we think about God in a couple of different ways. We think of God as a parent, and we also think of God as like a king or a queen. So God can be someone who helps us and also someone who makes rules that we have to follow. And we say to God, "You are like our parent and you are like our king or queen, and we love you and we respect you, and we want to say we are sorry for the things that we have done wrong." And we say all of those things when we sing a special prayer called Avinu Malkeinu. That means our parent and our ruler. And we're going to sing that now. Sometimes when we have a special moment in our service, we like to go to the ark and open the ark and have a special prayer to God like we just did for Avinu Malkeinu. And I have a story to read to you. This is a Rosh Hashanah story. I don't know if you can see the book very well. It might be far away. It's called The World's Birthday. And I love this story because Rosh Hashanah is thought to be a special time because it's the day that traditionally it's believed that the world was created many, many, many years ago at this time. So it's like a big birthday party for the world every Rosh Hashanah. Daniel loved Rosh Hashanah. He would wear his new clothes for the holiday. On the way to synagogue, he would step on the fallen leaves, crunch, crunch. He could almost hear the sound of the shofar, the horn we blow, calling, "Wake up, wake up." Best of all, everyone in his neighborhood would stop to wish him a good new year. How many more days until Rosh Hashanah? Daniel asked his papa one bedtime. He knew it was soon. Mama was already mixing the dough for the round braided egg breads, the challahs. 2 more days, his papa answered. Now come to bed, you too, he called to Daniel's sisters, Leah and Naomi. Why do I have to go to bed when they do, complained Naomi. I'm the oldest. Because I only have time for one bedtime story, said Papa. What'll it be? Tell us one about Rosh Hashanah, said Daniel. I know the Purim story and the Passover story, and I know that one, Naomi interrupted. Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday. You're right, Papa said. On Rosh Hashanah, we celebrate the time when God created all things. On my birthday, I have a party, said Daniel. Could we have a party for the world? But what would you do at a party like that? Asked Papa. I would have a cake and burn candles and invite the whole world. Please, me too, said little Leah. Of course, you too, said Daniel. He pulled affectionately on Leah's blankie. Could we have such a party, Papa? A party for the world's birthday? What a silly idea, said Naomi. Talk to me tomorrow, said Papa. The next day, Daniel hadn't forgotten the birthday of the world. Mama, he asked, can we go to the bakery so I can buy the biggest cake Mr. Gutman has for Rosh Hashanah? Why do you want to buy a cake, Daniel? Mama asked. Naomi and I are making those nice honey cakes. It's for the world's birthday, Daniel told her. But you can't have a party for the world, said Naomi disgustedly. It's much too big to fit into our house. Daniel looked all around the house, in the kitchen, in the living room, in the bedrooms, even in the bath. There was not enough room for the world. Maybe Naomi was right. I know, Daniel said. I'll ask Mr. Gutman. He knows all about parties and birthday cakes. Naomi walked Daniel to the bakery. She shook her head at him at every other step. But Daniel didn't notice. He bought the biggest cake in the bakery window with the money Mama had given him. Mr. Gutman gave him a few pennies change. It's for a party for the world, he told Mr. Gutman. Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday. In all the years I've been selling challahs and honey cakes for Rosh Hashanah, I never knew that, said the baker. How do you make a party for the world? I was going to ask you that, said Daniel. Maybe you should ask your grandfather instead, said Mr. Gutman. He's a rabbi. He would know if anyone does. I will, said Daniel. But please, Mr. Gutman, will you come to my party? Don't worry, I'll come, said Mr. Gutman. Maybe you'll want some candles before you go for the birthday cake. Oh, I forgot, said Daniel. He counted out his pennies. 1, 2, 3. You don't even have enough for one box, said Naomi. Here, take 4 boxes, said Mr. Gutman. It's on me. After all, the world is no young chicken. Thank you, said Daniel. Daniel and Naomi put the boxes of candles in their pockets and together carried the cake down the street to Grandpa's house. They knocked on his door. Grandpa, said Daniel, since it's Rosh Hashanah, and Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday, I want to make a birthday party for the world. Have you ever seen a birthday party for the whole world? No, said Grandpa. I've never heard of anyone making a birthday party for the world. Isn't the world too big to come to a party? See, I told you so, said Naomi. Grandpa looked thoughtful. There is something you could do. What, Grandpa? On Rosh Hashanah, people like to make cards for each other and wish each other a good new year. Maybe you could make a card for the world and wish for a good new year for everyone and everything. But the party tonight. Don't worry, said Grandpa. Gently he touched Daniel's shoulder. I'll come tonight. You can show me the card then.
I will, Grandpa, Daniel said. He and Naomi walked back to their house, Daniel carefully carrying the cake. Now what are we going to do with it? Asked Naomi. We'll still have the party, said Daniel. Naomi put her hand on her hip. You can't do that. You can't have a party without the guest of honor. Don't worry, answered Daniel. After supper, Daniel began to work on the card. As he drew, he remembered the story Papa had told him of how God created the world, of how God made darkness and light first, then the sky and the land and all the other things. Daniel drew the stars, the sun, and the moon in his pictures. He made fish, birds, animals, and people. When he finished his drawing, he thought about his mother giving him the money for the cake. He thought about the baker and the boxes of candles. He thought about his grandfather and the card with all the things that God had created. Suddenly he knew how he could have a party for the whole world. That night, Mr. Gutman and Grandpa came to Daniel's house. Daniel led them all outside. Mama, Papa, Leah, Naomi, Mr. Gutman, and Grandpa. Why are we going outside? Naomi asked. You'll see, Daniel answered. He walked in front of them carrying the big birthday cake into the night, close to the sky and the trees and the grass and the animals and the whole world. He put the cake down on the grass and reached into his pocket for the candles. He began to place them on the cake. Naomi was the first to understand. I guess you can have a party for the world, she said. Let me help you. Thanks, said Daniel. When they finished, Mama lit the candles. So many, Leah said. That's because the world is so old, answered Daniel. The candles blazed against the darkness. Let's sing Happy Birthday World, Daniel said. And they sang, and Daniel sang loudest of all. Just as they finished the song, a strong breeze came along. Whoosh! It blew out all the candles. Daniel looked up at the sky and smiled. I hope you remembered to make a wish first, he said. And that's the end of the story. So Daniel had a great idea, and he was able to have a birthday for the world. And the best place to have it is outside because it's for the whole world. And there's room for everybody and everything there. So it's a great story about how this is the world's birthday, and we remember that as we celebrate Rosh Hashanah. And now that we've heard that story and thought about all the important parts of Rosh Hashanah, there's one very important part that we still have, and I think everyone knows what it is. I mentioned it before. It's some special instrument that we blow on Rosh Hashanah. And I bet you know what it is. It's called the shofar. And we are very lucky. Rich Stopsky is here. He's going to blow the shofar for us. So come on up. Come on. Do it here with the microphone. So there's a bunch of different sounds, and the first one is called tekiah. And the next one is called Shevarim Teruah. And the next one is another tekiah. And then we have one really special one that's called a big tekiah, tekiah gedolah. Ready? Tekiah gedolah. Shana Tova. Yasher koach.
Beautiful.
Beautiful shofar blowing. If anyone has something at home that they can use, like a shofar, or have an actual shofar, you can certainly blow it now for Rosh Hashanah. And we're going to end with one last song, a song that says, L'Shana Tova, we wish each other a good year. We don't say Happy New Year on Rosh Hashanah, we say good year. Because sometimes can't always be happy. We hope we're going to be happy, but we want to have a good year. Even times that we're sad, sometimes we can help each other, and sometimes we can learn from things that make us sad, and we can still have a good year. So I hope everyone's going to have a year that is happy, but also especially a year that's a good one. Shana Tova.
L'shana tova tikatevu, l'shana tova tikatevu, l'shana tova tikatevu. Try with me. L'shana tova tikatevu, l'shana tova tikatevu, l'shana tova
Shana Tova to everyone. I hope to see everybody for our Yom Kippur children's service, which will be next week on Thursday. And we look forward to that. We'll have some more special things to do on that day. And I hope to see a lot of you on Sunday at religious school. If you're old enough to come to religious school, I hope you'll be able to join us Sunday morning. And we're going to have a fun morning for our first day of religious school this Sunday at 9 o'clock. I want to say thank you so much to Rich Stovsky for blowing shofar so beautifully and being here. And thank you to our cantorial student, Calix Jacobson, for her fun and beautiful music and ukulele playing. And those of you who love hearing the ukulele are going to have a chance, as you know, to learn to play ukulele or continue to play ukulele at our school. And I know Calix will come to some of those sessions with you. And they're going to be led by Sophie Klein, who also plays ukulele and teaches it. So that will be a fun thing to do at school. So Shana Tova to everyone. Have a great day and a great year.
Shana tova.